And this is not where we expected to be. I don't think anyone expected us to be here. Maybe Kasva as we go into game 3. And Kasva is up 2-0. And he is going to place, MarineLorD is going to place his Mongol town center on that wood line. Also gathering a few sheep early and going for the uvu. Uvu? How do you say that?
Uvu? I think
Okay,
Chet
so
loves to just hear uvu, so that's
I
probably
like
what most
uwu.
casters go for.
Yeah. I like uwu the best, so we're going with the uwu today. And he's going to put it out there in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Nowhere near his TC, so he can't get the double scout or double villager production, but he might add some military nearby.
He didn't see the stone mine at the back of his base, so that's why the uvu went out there. That's actually a stone mine that's further away from his TC than the one to the south, but he just didn't see that, as on the left side we do have Kasva with an interesting base over here. He's got a hill in front of his base, which is pretty rare on this map. Makes it much easier to void yourself.
It's only a couple choke points that he needs to secure early. He also found the uwu from MarineLorD early with his scout, and he found those deer there too, so... MarineLorD going for a stable next to his TC. So not in the exposed location next to his uwu. He's going to build it there and then move it over so he gets to the double production.
Indeed, that's the plan, although it looks like this is gonna be stopped by Kasva. I think MarineLorD could get that up close to the uvu without any problems, but he probably wanted to play this one safe. Stable is up, but nothing is coming out of it yet.
That's a nice play from Kasva. To stay on that area and to deny that stable going up, but MarineLorD is being a little bit annoying with his con. He was hitting the gold, and now he's going to run away, dragging the second scout from Kasva away, and dragging some of his sheep away too, because the initial scouting from Kasva was done forward. So he managed to snag a few sheep from the back of his base.
There's a second scout coming in as well from Kasva. Not something that's a bad idea, honestly. He's been attacking that uvu, and you could actually justify using your scouts to try and burn that down. You see that you already sort of denied the stable play from MarineLorD. MarineLorD made the stable, but nothing really came out of that.
Khan's still running around looking for sheep. It looks like School of Cavalry for Kasva. No surprise there.
No surprise at all. And the thing is that if MarineLorD has absolutely no army here, no barracks, no archer range, and most importantly, no double production, he's going to have a very difficult time against those knights with chivalry.
I love how he's still sitting on the uwu. He's being so annoying just sitting there with the scout, and I love it. It's a good aggressive opening from Kasva. Kind of getting in the ahead of your opponent and forcing him to adapt a little bit with the stable close to the town center. However, that means that MarineLorD is going to have quite a bit of stone in the bank. Should he want to place some military buildings over there and get some increased production later on in the game.
Absolutely. Now, MarineLorD is still heavily hurt by the fact that he didn't see the stone mine at the back of his base, because that's the reason why he's sort of cut off from stone. And a scarier thing for him is that he's not going into feudal age yet, whereas Kasva is almost up, and when the first couple of royal knights come out with such an exposed gold mine and the uvu exposed, it's going to be next to impossible to defend this base.
Right? MarineLorD is going for deer stones. And he's going up to the next stage, and he's moving his stable again. He's managed to chase away the scout from Kasva, so he's finally going to get it set up there. He'll go forward with his con, knowing that he has the ability now to double produce military units. And he will see that Kasva is reaching the feudal age.
And Kasva is not going for knights. That actually might be a mistake here, because just one knight would cause so much chaos. Well, that gold mine is wide open for raiding, but he's going for scouts, so this is going to be a professional scouts build over here. He already has that upgrade queued up.
Interesting, considering the damage that you did earlier, and you knew that MarineLorD had no real military production early. that you're not going to go for at least one unit that can do damage to MarineLorD's economy. That's kind of strange. Maybe he wants to just get those scouts and get that hunt that's right near MarineLorD's Uvu early.
It's a possibility. With the French, you pretty much always want to play professional scouts because you get a discount on the upgrade, and you already have the School of Cavalry to make your scout set with, so you pretty much have everything set up for that, and you could indeed just yoink all the hunt from MarineLorD.
Okay, MarineLorD reaching the feudal age now, and he will be going... Okay, no production yet. He's getting a barracks at his town center. And there are a couple scouts from him at the stable as well, so he's going to be going to pick up those carcasses.
Well, given that Kasva doesn't take them, because he was slower to feudal age, so he's only halfway done with that technology, and I think Kasva is finished, so he can come in and already swoop up all the hunt.
Can MarineLorD come forward and take those deer basically underneath Kasva's TC? That would be kind of funny, as Kasva's over here and MarineLorD is pushing him back across the middle of the map. There are deer right there, and I know that MarineLorD scouted them earlier.
Now that's a lot of scouts out there. With the Khan's speed boost, Kasva did lose one scout already, and the second one is pretty heavily damaged. The horseman out here for Kasva. Now that's a little surprising. Not a knight.
I mean, horseman cheaper than a knight. Maybe he feels like he can't really justify it with his economy. Two horsemen out on the field from MarineLorD following up these scouts. So MarineLorD will have the superior economy for now. And Kasva, I think he only got, what, 2 carcasses?
Yep. Very little. Like, he lost a couple of scouts. One carcass was even taken back by MarineLorD. And now the problem for Kasva is that, okay, you're making horsemen, but so is your opponent, and he's got double training on them, so it's actually more efficient. You probably want to go knights here, because your knights will be able to beat their horsemen still.
I love the fact that Kasva walled up to his TC here. He also walled to the edge of the map, and that prevented MarineLorD from coming in with the scouts to snipe the carcasses from Kasva's mill. So he's going to save all that safe food, and he's going to go out looking for more, and he's found more in the north, but the horsemen are here for MarineLorD. Going to be doing damage. Let's see if Kasva can get away in time. MarineLorD is just reacting right now to everything the Turkish player is doing.
Yeah, this is just such a delicate micro over here, really trying to save those scouts, trying to make sure that you don't lose your horsemen, and in the end, it's pretty much going to be even amount of hunt for both players.
Is there any hunt left on the field that they can take?
One on the far right. I'm not sure if either player scouted that, and the answer is no.
Well, they each have like what, 5 scouts? they should be able to find it pretty quickly here.
Yep.
Especially MarineLorD, because he can pressure with the horsemen. He can use his scouts for other things, and he's actually coming in on the wood line from Kasva. Gonna run right through, push the villagers away from the gold, and make his way over to that hunt, or just decide to maybe punch a hole in that wall so he can have faster entry later in the game.
Now he's going to lose some of those horsemen. He already lost the Khan, so that hurts quite badly. And now Kasva's gonna start using his leftover scouts to burn down the Uvu.
Does MarineLorD see that stone yet? I wonder. He does see it. So he can relocate now to a more convenient position at the back of his base if that dies.
Yeah, and he should, because he won't be able to protect that for some time, although it looks like he's got some horsemen out, so he might be able to save the Uvu, actually.
He's gonna try. The Uvu will survive. It's on fire, though, so it will continue to burn. MarineLorD is gonna need to repair that, and it looks like Kasva has just engaged against it and is ignoring the hits and will actually destroy that. MarineLorD goes for a replacement right away.
Yeah, MarineLorD kind of has to, as now we're seeing more and more knights hit the field from Kasva. Looking at his food count, he's getting closer to Castle Age, but that gold count isn't impressive. Whereas on the other side, you do have MarineLorD with better gold, but not a lot of food to work with. Ecos seem fairly even, 34 and 35 villagers for the players. So now I guess it's a race to Castle Age.
Yeah, and Kasva is adding more walls behind this. more map control he gets, the more he walls off. I like that he didn't go for immediate walls. He waited until he had military control and then added them in later. The horsemen from MarineLorD will be forced to run away. And Kasva has a good setup here going into age.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, at this point, he's playing sort of a trench warfare style over here, but with this map that's actually completely legitimate. The map is so well volable, you just gotta slowly expand and make sure you don't get raided to death by those early horsemen.
MarineLorD did find those deer on the right, by the way. So he's going to be bringing in those carcasses, and that will help his economy quite a bit. Doesn't have to invest into pastures too early. We'll have lots of hunt to take.
On the other side, Kasva is almost done walling up. We'll secure the berries and the stone. And he's probably going to start going up to Castle Age a little faster than his opponent.
So, MarineLorD, what does he do about these knights right now? That's the question for me. I mean, he's only got some horsemen on the field. He's got one spearman there.
I think spearmen for now, especially because you don't have a lot of knights on the field. And then probably crossbowmen as you get into Castle Age. Double spearman could also work here.
Okay, there's more spearmen following up. The knights still leading the army from MarineLorD around in circles. Kasva on the way up to age number 3. He's got the guild hall at about 30% built right now.
Other side, we already have the deer stones being pulled forward, so MarineLorD will want to play aggressive in castle. And for him, spearman and siege could actually work out nicely here, because currently Kasva is only on knights, but Kasva's playing the mind games. He's gonna play men-at-arms with the French.
Men-at-arms matchup pretty nicely against everything that MarineLorD is going for right now. And MarineLorD adding an archery range next to Zuvu.
That makes some sense. He probably wants to mix in some crossbows, because the crossbows would work both against the men-at-arms and against the knights, as he's burning through that wall already. Looks like Kasva won't stop that, so MarineLorD will have a chance to take a look at those barracks that are coming up in front of Kasva's base.
Yeah, no production yet from the barracks. He's not in age 3 as of yet. The scouts will get through the gate any second now, and MarineLorD will be up to age 3 at a very similar time to Kasva.
So the French men-at-arms are nothing special over here, neither are the Mongols, but the Mongols can make siege weapons on the battlefield, so you could get the springolds out rather easily. A little bit for raid over here by Kasva, but he won't kill a single villager here, I do believe.
I think the problem here, that hill was nice early for Kasva, in that he could wall it off, right? But now it might be a little bit of a problem for him in that he needs to push out to this middle area. And if MarineLorD holds that, a lot of his economy behind is going to be fairly safe. Kasva actually going for the snipe on the carcasses. He's trying for a hit and run here, Lita. He takes one of them.
He takes 2, in fact. So that has to be value there at this point. Your scouts are almost useless. So being able to yoink 2 carcasses from MarineLorD here is definitely good value.
Does he get away with it? No.
Nope. Nope. But style points are given to him.
Yeah. Ocean's 14 right there. It was an ambitious attempt for sure.
War's coming up again for Kasva, as the players will soon need to transition to some sort of steady food ecos, so farms or pastures, because we're running out of huntables or berries.
All right, MarineLorD is continuing to make crossbows. He's going into his own men-at-arms, and he's just getting the veteran tech in right now, plus the blacksmith technologies. So he's going to continue to play 1TC, and he will take an engagement against Kasva's men-at-arms, but it's only spearmen there for MarineLorD.
Yeah, that's actually a very good fight for Kasva, despite the fact that there are some crossbows in here, because it's mostly spearman, horseman, stuff like that gets cleaned up very easily by the man-at-arms. This is as good as it gets for Kasva.
MarineLorD actually taking not a bad engagement, though. Kasva was chasing after his crossbows. MarineLorD managed to save them for quite a long time, and now he's bought himself enough time to get his men-at-arms involved. So both players are going to kind of stalemate here in the middle as the production from MarineLorD will follow to this army and be able to hold a position probably right beside the deer stones.
Yeah,
in the middle.
Many of those men-at-arms for Kasva are damaged, so even though the numbers didn't look that bad for him, the quality of that army was quite weak, and this may have been an overextension from Kasva.
Kasva is sitting at 55 villagers right now. MarineLorD is sitting at 50, and MarineLorD has successfully cleared up the army from Kasva and now has potential for a counter push back to Kasva's base. However, Kasva has re-walled behind this, so it will take MarineLorD time to get inside and time to do some damage. Do we see a second town center from Kasva at some point? I mean, he's just run out of gold at the back of his base. He's going to have to move somewhere else. Wondering how he secures that location.
I think he should wall off the left-hand side. There's a very narrow choke point beyond the mountain, and that would secure 2 gold mines for him, plus the market even.
Yeah, I think that's going to be needed here as he goes for a gate to go over to the left side, but Springold's already on the way there from MarineLorD. He's not messing around, Lita. Immediately goes for 4 Springolds. Still has the men-at-arm production, has the crossbows behind, and Kasva has kind of stalled out his military production a little bit. He's got 1 Springold and just a few men-at-arms in defense.
That's the problem with any civilization that can't make siege on the field. You're restricted to using your siege workshops, whereas MarineLorD can just reinforce his Springolds really fast, and that siege workshop is also very much exposed, so the moment the Springold spawns, it's going to be killed.
And once MarineLorD takes this hill area, if he sees that gold over to the left, that's going to be very exposed as well. And Kasva is going to have issues with gold income as he comes in with the men-at-arms, tries to engage, but the Springolds are behind here. And this is, I think this is a hopeless fight here for Kasva. He's just trying to buy himself enough time.
Absolutely. The thing is that even if he snipes the Springolds, there is crossbows, there is men-at-arms coming in, and they can start burning down those houses and mills, and each of those will give a lot of resources for MarineLorD.
He is raiding at MarineLorD's woodline. I don't know if it's enough, but he is raiding with some men-at-arms. He has killed some villagers. But there's just too many Springolds. And now Ram's being added. This seems over at this point.
Yeah, there is going to be some losses for MarineLorD, but as I said, you set each of those houses on fire, and you're going to get a ton of resources from that. So when those Rams start rolling, Kasva's eco and in general his base is going to collapse. He's at 9 army right now.
It looked like such an even game until Kasva stalled out production for a minute. And that's all it took for MarineLorD to start snowballing here. He had some Lancers defending against the men-at-arms at the back, and now this army is looking very deadly. He's got, what, 7 Springolds, 2 Rams, men-at-arms with the capability of double production behind. Oh boy.
And all of these are buffed by the deer stones as well, so they also have a lot of mobility, crossbows to snap down men-at-arms, and we'll see buildings set on fire and all the resources that will come in for MarineLorD from that.
When does MarineLorD notice that gold? Is that gold going to be the safest area of Kasva's economy? I think he saw it with maybe 1 Springold, yeah.
Yeah, he sees it. He will just casually be shooting at those vills, but I think at this point he can even ignore it, just go straight into the base of Kasva and spearhead through that with Rams.
I think we're going to see the 2-1 here.
Yep, it's very likely. Currently it's 112 population for MarineLorD, 56 villagers, 56 army, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Only 17 army for MarineLorD, or for Kasva, excuse me.
There we go. He's allocating more Springolds to that gold. He's going to be sniping villagers. The Rams will continue to push the TC and the production buildings. Kasva added a bunch of barracks behind, and he's trying to build up a men-at-arm army that could potentially push this back, but it's very similar in size to MarineLorD's, and MarineLorD has the Springolds.
Indeed.
Company his.
Kasva is not ready to give up on this yet. He's moving to the right side for the gold, for the boars, also on the stone, so patience might actually pay off for Kasva over here, though. If MarineLorD isn't pushing this fast enough, there's a chance Kasva can build up a pretty decent mass and sort of just stall this game out, try to drag it out and play a long game and recover.
At some point, he's going to lose the landmarks, though. He's already losing the School of Cavalry. He can lose the TC after that. And then we've just got the Guild Hall following up. He'll need to engage at some point, and he's coming forward right now. The Springolds will get a bunch of good hits as the Men-at-Arms have to dip and dive their way through the houses, and he'll fall back once again. The villager count is not too much of a difference. You might think it might be, but it is only about 5 or 6, I believe, at this point. Yeah, 6 villager difference.
It's the army difference that's concerning for Kasva right now. 25 army versus 69, and that is going to be a slaughter here from MarineLorD.
The scouts actually came from behind for Kasva to try and take out the Mangonel from MarineLorD behind these Springolds, but they failed. Kasva's now looping around with these men-at-arms. He wants to take out the Springolds. He's going to ignore the infantry from MarineLorD, and there's just too much here. There's way too much here for MarineLorD. Kasva will lose this fight and then likely resign.
So Mongols taking another win over here. Do you think it was something that Kasva did wrong, or simply just Mongols are so powerful in this civilization matchup?
I think he needed to keep his foot on the pedal there. Like he walled up behind, that was fine. He took a decent engagement in the middle that was more or less a tie, and then he stopped producing. He had 3 barracks, but I think he was only producing from like 1 of them. So I think he kind of shot himself in the foot a little bit, trying to play a little bit more defensive. And the Mongols managed to get their siege up and then push right down that hill into his base.
Yeah, the thing is that he went with the scouts to try and steal MarineLorD's hunt, and we talked about the fact that if he just goes one night, he could have killed 2 or 3 villagers on the gold, maybe burn down the Uvu as well. And he didn't really want to go for that, just wanted to steal the hunt and play a longer game. But this window for the Mongols, this early Castle Age with the Springolds, Mangonels, and Men-at-Arms is just so great. You really don't want to let Mongols get in here with a good economy.